We will get to Stan Van Gundy's hot basketball playoff nuggets in your face here within about 4 or 5 minutes, but I am guilty of having some pixie bias here because it can be argued, Stan Van Gundy, that the coldest moment, in honor of Damian Lillard making that shot last night, in the history of sports might be Kerry Strug. The coolest ending, landing,
no doubt,
injured.
Yeah, that's tough to beat.
And just landing under that kind of pressure while injured.
I got to tell you, I did some vaulting when I was younger, and when you're out on the mats by yourself and it's just you and the vault and you got to stick that landing, it's intimidating. Now imagine doing that for the gold medal at the Olympic Games with Russia right behind you, and if you don't stick the landing, the Russians get the gold and you don't. Kerry Strug was facing all that, and she was injured, as Dan pointed out. She was on the mats, and she stuck that landing on the vault. And that's a moment, because I've been there, of defiance where it's just you have to stick the landing. You're on the mat by yourself, and you sit there when you do it, and you say, hey, you know what? Look at me.
Hold on a second.
What happened there?
First, I got a couple of questions. I'm not sure that that we had a Cold War situation going on with the Kerry Strug stuff. I'm not totally positive. You might be right there. And I don't believe you when you say that you were a gymnast when you were younger.
I mean, Fat Chris will back me up. He was at the house. You saw all the awards. We played golf. I think you saw the vault, didn't you?
I saw the vault. I saw a picture of him sticking a landing. It's odd, but I have seen the picture.
He's talked about this before.
This is the first I'm learning of this, okay? So forgive me for not remembering, but wait a minute. Stugatz was a gymnast?
It was Russia.
It was Russia,
Yeah.
yes.
I feared that it might have been Romania, but they got the bronze.
And so we were slightly ahead when Strug started her run towards the vault and then stuck the landing. We were slightly ahead, but had she not stuck the landing, we could have fallen behind and lost to Russia. There was a lot on the line there, man. Everything was on the line.
You got to throw Brandy Chastain in there, too.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a great one. The Magnificent Seven, man. I mean, how about that U.S. gymnastics team? Because, again, I was a vaulter, and I also did floor exercises. I am telling you, that is the greatest Olympic gymnastics team of all time, except for the one with Mary Lou.
Hold on a minute. You did not do rhythmic gymnastic floor exercises. You did not do gymnastics. I prefer to think of it as rhythmic gymnastics with the little ribbon. What? How old were you? Am I being punked here? Is this a true thing that Stugatz? What pictures did you see in Stugatz's house, Chris?
In his office. The pictures.
Yeah.
I saw him.
I mean, I'm a regular Bart Connor.
All right, so you all making this up? You guys fooled me? Okay, you had me fooled. Time now for Stan Van Gundy's hot nuggets all up in your face.
And now, time for Stan Van Gundy's top NBA nuggets on a Wednesday show. Thingy.
So what's the theme this week, Stan?
The first round of the NBA playoffs.
Which stunk, by the way, until last night. Even though
and we'll give you some things to basically say that. Yes.
Okay. Well, wait a minute. Last week you were arguing the merits of how good the first round has been. All right, go ahead. What are you guys laughing about? Hold on a second, Stan. We will get to your nuggets in a second.
Correct me if I'm mistaken here, but I believe the guy said Bert Connor.
I said Bart.
You said Bart Connor.
Okay. I said, but everyone knows Bart. Okay. I mean, blonde hair, Bart Connor, 84 Olympics, L.A. Games. I mean, he was amazing. He was the captain of the team. I mean, it would have been me, but my career got cut short because of injury.
Put it on the poll. Does everybody know Bart Connor?
Also, which was the gymnast?
I do.
Who was the gymnast that did Gymkata, that terribly conceived idea of we're going to have an Olympic win a gold medal and then he's going to be Jean-Claude Van Damme? Is it Kurt Thomas? The gymnast who did.
I know. I'm looking it up right now.
You know what I'm talking about, right? It's just
Kurt Thomas.
All right, we'll get back to that analysis in a second. Third best nugget from Stan Van Gundy. Go ahead, get in there, Stugatz. Make the joke.
Big sexy.
Third best nugget from Stan Van Gundy is?
It has been 13 years since we haven't had at least one team without home court advantage win a first-round series, but there is a great possibility it could happen this year, and we already know this is the fourth straight year where there has not been a first-round upset in the Eastern Conference.
The second best Stan Van Gundy nugget is
Right now, with 5 series decided and 3 teams down to their final game, the losing teams have won a total of only 7 games. If Golden State and Houston close out their series at home tonight and Denver hangs on to win its series with San Antonio, this will be the least competitive first round in 15 years.
Didn't I try and tell you that last week? And you were telling me how great the playoffs were so far?
I thought that last week, I thought the first weekend, the games
Yes.
were pretty good.
Yes.
But the series have not stood up to that. And last night, 3 of the 4 games were absolute blowouts.
I mean, in Stan's defense, you did have the Magic winning game 1. The Clippers shocked the Warriors.
I know, but we knew
the
that
Nets
those weren't.
beat Philly, and
Yeah.
we were talking about
wait
the
a minute.
first weekend.
Stan, hold on a second. You know, you've been around basketball too long for this. You're the one who told us that when Golden State lost Game 2, they'll probably not lose another game in this series. The idea that Toronto would win in 5 or that Orlando wouldn't match up and that that the Nets would win one surprise game and then the rest of them would go that way. There's nothing surprising about how we get to 5-game series.
No, I didn't say that. All I said was the first weekend had been pretty good. That's all I said.
The best nugget from Stan Van Gundy's playoff analysis is
Houston should be leery of giving the Utah Jazz further life tonight in this series. In the past 12 years, there have been 22 first-round upsets, and 5 of them have been won by the Jazz. No one else has pulled more than 2 first-round upsets in that time.
Nice nugget.
they're always good.
I
Stan
know.
Van Gundy's nuggets are always good.
I spend hours researching them. No, I actually do.
No, I
you
know
guys
you
think,
do.
I mean, like, I got up, I set my alarm for like 6:45 this morning because I hadn't done them last night like I usually do.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have time. Yeah, like these stress me out, you know. And it gets harder as the year goes on. And I creates a great deal of stress in my life coming up with the nuggets every
Roy,
week.
I need more Gymkhana information. I need to explain to the audience that doesn't know. I don't know what year this was. It was just a terribly conceived idea, soaring on the wings of patriotism. He had just won a gold medal.
It was 1985, right after they did it in 1984. Hey.
Gymkhana is a 1985 martial arts film starring Olympic gymnast Kurt Thomas as Jonathan Calvert, an Olympic gymnast who combines his gymnastic ability with martial arts to enter a deadly competition in a fictional country, Turkmenistan.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, his performance earned him a nomination for the Razzie Award.
Big sexy.